Hey everyone, real quick before we start this video, I know I did this little announcement thing on the Outriders video, but I'm just going to do it one more time, so sorry. But Danielle and I have opened up a new channel very recently. The link's in the description. If you enjoyed some of our outtakes, our little back and forth in some recent videos, then I think you're going to like this channel. It's going to be very lifestyle focused, kind of like vlogs and stuff like that. Not really too much gaming, if any. We're going to have kind of like a big video every couple of weeks and then some smaller videos in between those bigger videos. Most of the time, I feel like they're probably going to feature, the smaller videos anyway, are going to probably feature our dog Brimstone. So yeah, if you're interested in that, check the description, check out the vids we got so far, and then watch this video. Maybe watch this one first and then go. Nah, whatever order you want. I don't care. All right, everyone. Let's talk about some neat stuff today. We got Season 13 Grandmaster Nightfalls starting to roll out. First one's Devils Lair. It's chock full of enemies. Lots of overload captains. But today, I want to focus specifically on two things. The first thing is the whole worth it versus not worth it debate for the Aeon series of exotics. And number two is a fun strategy that my team used for some clears that I think people will enjoy. So first, let's talk about the Aeon series, the Aeon Exotics. These gloves were massively buffed, to the point where if I was asked to throw mine on for the team, I would oblige. We've spoken about what they do in a previous video, but I'm going to recap them right here. Sect of Vigor. Gain class ability energy when your allies die. Gain full class ability energy when you res an ally. When you cast your super, nearby allies get healing. Other non-Vigor Aeon allies get an overshield. Sect of Insight. Successive precision weapon kills can drop an orb of power. Using a finisher on an elite will generate special ammo for your team. A finisher on a boss or mini-boss, aka champions, makes heavy ammo. Non-Insight Aeon allies also get a weapon damage bonus for a short time. Finally, we have Sect of Force. Rapid precision hits with a weapon increase reload and swap speeds for a short time. When you stun a champion or defeat a boss or mini-boss, teammates gain grenade and melee energy. Non-Force Aeon allies also get a burst of super energy. So, how are these in Grandmaster Nightfall content? Well, they're pretty good. They are pretty good. Sect of Force's energy gains are quite noticeable, as 2 stuns on a champion will basically get you your entire grenade and melee back, or at least very close to it, allowing you to potentially chain some, I don't know, stasis grenades to keep those champions stunned. The super energy was also noticeable. I was able to freely cast my super during the run, as opposed to feeling like I should just hold on to it at all times. Sect of Insight's power ammo generation is also pretty good, especially considering that there is no sort of super energy cost to actually do this. I repeat, there is no energy cost to just finishing everything in sight and getting ammo. My team definitely did not take advantage of this nearly as much as I think we could and should have, and I would encourage you to use this as much as possible. Sect of Vigor, on the other hand, is underwhelming, but still ultimately helpful to have. As a Titan, I was able to spam walls all the time, which is very helpful for reses on my teammates. If you're a Warlock, dropping a Rift to res will be the move, but if you're a Hunter, well, it's not as good unless maybe you're able to dodge to get an invis, smoke bomb, or anything along those lines in order to help you res a teammate. It is inherently based on defensive capabilities, which is why this sect is not very exciting. Overall, the main value of the Aeon series to me is the non-energy costing ammo finishers and the ability energy from stunning champions. I don't normally like to discuss seasonal mods when it comes to these kinds of videos, just to keep them relevant for a bit longer, but seasonal mods will also likely integrate well with the Aeon series. For example, Season 13's Resonance Siphon, Surge Detonators, and Inferno Whip have decent to good synergy with the Aeon series because of energy restoration. So, that brings us to the ultimate question. Is it worth using the Aeon series in Grandmaster Nightfall? Yes, it is worth using if you and your team want to use them. But are they worth using to the point where you are hurting yourself if you are not using them? Absolutely not. Are they worth using over other exotics? I would say that that is a personal choice. It's very, very close. Let's look at the opportunity cost of using other exotics versus Aeon, and let's say you're running 1-1-1. If you're on Titan, let's say you're running Doomfang, Warlock, you're on Phoenix Protocol, Hunter, you're on Orpheus Rig, just running with some of the best stuff in the game. Two of those three are very good, super regenerating exotics, and Doomfang makes for a very good offensive exotic for taking out big waves of enemies, of which there are many in Devils Lair specifically. You would be giving up some extra ability usage and power ammo from champions in order to use these exotics. Special ammo finisher isn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things in terms of energy usage. If you play around the strengths of the Aeon set, you're gonna do really well with them. My team was still getting used to what bonuses were proccing when and using our ability energy much more aggressively than usual. In my opinion, you do need to base your playstyles around Sect of Forces energy gains, because otherwise you're just gonna be wasting all of that ability energy. You also need to make good subclass choices. For example, I did a run as a Thunder Crash Titan using Aeon, and it was very underwhelming. If you just want to stick with what you have in terms of exotics, then I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think once people start to really get used to the Aeon set, and if some good seasonal mods come around, like really good, then it could potentially become the go-to Grandmaster exotic for certain teams. But teams that already have a good idea of what they're doing or are clearing Grandmasters already without much issue can just opt to keep what they are using. Next, we're going to talk about Devils Lair specifically. I ran Devils Lair a few times across multiple subclasses and weapon loadouts, and the one that came to mind was when my entire team was using Ticuu's Divination. That is the Season 13 Pass exotic. Now, I can only imagine it being even better with the Catalyst, but no one on my team had it, and we were still doing very, very well. The reason this works so well is because of the following. Number one, Overload Bow. There are a lot of Overload captains in this place. You can very easily tag Overload captains with a hipfire burst from this bow. Just make sure you're actually proccing the Overload shot. The hipfire shots are auto-targeting, making captains very easily stun-locked and killed. Number two, explosions, and lots of them. In Grandmaster, everything's a threat. We know this. All of a sudden, those red bars are taking quite a few shots to kill. Devil's Lair has some of the highest enemy density in Destiny. But a primed enemy followed up with a headshot, or in some cases a body shot, will be a one-shot kill. Two-shot kill, whatever, semantics. Here's the thing though. Other people can prime enemies. So, with two people priming enemies and one person detonating, or 1-in-1 with one person as a flex, you're able to completely wipe out massive groups of clumped up enemies with only a few shots. Throw in a middle tree defender titan, and you can really start chaining some crazy explosions together. Not to mention, this is all using primary ammo, allowing you to use your special and heavy ammo in better situations. You can also augment this with Warmind cells, specifically Global Reach and Wrath of Rasputin, although my team didn't get Warmind cells to spawn often enough and in good enough spots for them to really be a big enough deal to really consider. The main negatives of using Ticuu's Divination in this way are, number one, running out of ammo from spamming too many priming shots, and two, a potentially slower spider tank section. The spider tank area took us a couple of tries to really get into a rhythm, and eventually my team was able to do it faster than using regular loadouts. It's just a little bit slow when you're first learning it. My team brought snipers with anti-barrier, Ticuus, a couple of machine guns for arc and void shields, and a rocket for some burst damage. The biggest pain point is actually the walker itself and just getting accidentally rocketed. Make sure you're killing any champions as you get the opportunity to do so, and make sure you're doing your best to clear adds as they drop in from the skiff whenever you deal a big chunk of damage to the walker. You can take your time here. Remember, you have 45 minutes before your reses are taken away. As for Sepiks, this room is not too different compared to normal. Lots of adds spawning in, just keep spamming those arrows, and you really should not have too much of a problem. Overall, this is a really fun and really effective loadout for Devils Lair, and hopefully future GMs as well. It'll probably be more effective when there's overload champions to kill, but I suppose you can use it during unstoppable champion Nightfalls. You just might have to get a little more creative with your loadouts to accommodate for that. If you're struggling in the GM, definitely give this loadout a try. Not only is it effective, but it's really, really fun to use, regardless of if you're the primer or you're the person getting all the kills. I had fun doing both of these roles. Good luck out there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.